Shel from Paper Actio Studio, and today I'm bringing to you a collaboration with other Canvas Corp Brands creative crew members, and the theme is By the Sea. For this project, I decided to use a Canvas Corp Brands 4x4 canvas. These canvases are not gessoed, they're just ready to go with the canvas on a very sturdy little wooden frame. This one, as you can see, is tiny, and they have them all the way down to size 2x2, and I'm not sure how big they go because I've never really checked. Also, I'm using this paper pad called Maritime, and I'm starting out my canvas by using some matte gel medium from Golden to apply some of these little wave patterned papers to my canvas, and I just tore them up and just kind of put them in there just to give myself a starting point, something that's not just a white canvas, you know. When I do canvases, I like to do them all the way around the edges. I continue the design to the edge as well, so that's how come you can see me putting some of the paper around the edge. All the materials I used in this project will be listed in the description box below. That's the place where it says see more down there underneath the video. I'm trying really hard to continue doing that so that if there's something that you see on the screen that you want, you can find it without having to ask me in a comment or something. So once the paper is all on there and stuck down with the matte medium, I'm moving on to the next layers, and I decide that the paper is too dark of a color. You know, it almost looks like a zebra pattern there with the white in between the paper. So I decide to push it back a little bit with some white gesso using my 2-inch brayer just to add a little bit of lighter color on there, and then I'm going to touch it up a little bit with a wet baby wipe so that it's not completely obscuring the pattern but just kind of pushing it back a little bit. Then I'm going to use some sprays. This first one is Sky baseboard spray. All the baseboard means is that it doesn't have mica in it. So you guys are probably familiar with Tattered Angel's Glimmer Mists because those are probably the most popular ones. But there is a whole line of sprays that doesn't have the mica in it. It's just the spray part. So it doesn't glimmer. And this is one of those. Then I decide to add some splatters using some Dragonfly Glimmer Mist. So this one does have the glimmer in it. I'm just basically looking for colors that are inspired by the sea, turquoises and light blues and aquas and colors like that. And then a little bit of nougat, which looks like sand to me. And that one is also a glimmer mist, I think. Although it really didn't have much glimmer in it, so I'm wondering if it's mismarked. Then I just go back in again with a little bit more of the gesso. I'm just trying to unify the whole idea of the background not having anything really standing out, but just kind of a general sea-like background. That's what I was going for. Does it look sea-like? I don't know. And maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. So then once that's dry, I start adding some other elements. I have a canvas tag, which comes in a pack of 3 from Canvas Home Basics, which is one of the Canvas Corp Brands subsidiaries or whatever you want to call them. They have 7 Gypsies, Tattered Angels, and Canvas Core Home Basics under the umbrella of Canvas Corp Brands. So I'm using all kinds of things from all different ones of those. This burlap that I put behind, the teal burlap, is from one of their paper packs. And also the corrugated paper is from one of their paper packs. They have some mixed media paper packs that are sewn together with 12x12 pieces of different printed fabrics, burlaps, corrugated papers, printed papers, all different stuff sewn together, and really get a good, you know, collection of different stuff. And those are pieces from that. Then I have this little tag pack that's also called Maritime, and it has all these cute little pictures. And so I'm just trying to decide what I'm going to put on there. But of course, I'm immediately attracted to this mermaid because I love mermaids. And they're just, it's just such a cool concept to think that there's like a humanoid type of something thinking out there swimming in the ocean that we can't prove is there. You know, I imagine them communing with the dolphins because I think dolphins are very intelligent. and whales, and I don't know. I love the idea of it. So I decide to put that tag on my little canvas, and then I'm looking in the paper pack for some other things because there's other little printed pictures in there. I decide to use that compass rose for a little bit of a to bring in another color and also another shape. So I punch it with a round punch because if I cut it out, it wouldn't be completely round, of course, because I can't cut completely round. So then I'm going back with the same colors that I used before in sprays, and I'm using them as liquid watercolor to color the mermaid in with a little brush. So I'm just putting a little tiny bit, whoa, way too much. Put that back in the bottle. In my palette, and then picking it up with my brush and brushing it on. That darker brown color is craft colored glimmer mist that I've added for my sand that she's laying on. And I think I'm going to also use that in the hair. This one is called, oh shoot, it's a peachy color. I think it's called apricot jelly, maybe apricot jelly or something like that. And then I also have baby pink glimmer mist. Those two I used in combination for the skin of the mermaid. And then that one's called It's Yellow, and that's where I started with. I mixed the It's Yellow and the craft colored glimmer mist for her hair I mixed them together to try to give her blonde hair, basically kind of a dirty blonde hair. And then I'm using the sky baseboard with a little bit of the dragonfly glimmer mist to touch up the sky. And that's what I used to color it. So this is a scrap of brown cardstock, and I thought that there needed to be a frame around the tag. I like frames around little things like that. So I'm just gluing it with some Aleene's tacky glue onto this brown cardstock just to give it a frame, and then trimming it out around the top. And I think that looks a lot better. It makes it stand out. Then I'm just using a pit pin just to go in with a little bit of brown and add some shadows to her hair because it was pretty one-dimensional. I wanted just some deeper areas, and I thought the darkest brown would be a good idea, so I did that. Now I'm going to color the little starfish. The starfish was on one of the tags. It was a circular tag from that maritime tag pack, but I cut it out, just leaving a little bit of white around the edges to use as an element on my little 4x4 canvas. And I'm using the same colors. I haven't added any colors here. It's just all the same ones to color in the starfish. And now it's time to spray my little canvas tag a little bit. So I'm going to use again the same colors. That's the apricot one, a little bit of the nougat, throw in some of the craft, splatter it a little bit with the craft, just to add some color to that canvas tag. Then I just am kind of blending and highlighting a couple of the corners using the gesso that's left over on my palette. And because the glimmer mist is wet, it's blending in really well with the brush. Now for assembly, I'm pretty happy with the things that I've chosen. I'm still trimming this burlap a little bit, trying to make it smaller, and I'm pulling out some of the fibers on the sides just to make it fringy looking. Is that a word, fringy? It's fringy. You know what I mean. I'm just kind of distressing it a little bit. And that's my little compass rose. So I'm just going to be assembling things, stacking things on the canvas until I'm happy with them and gluing them down. I think I'm going to get my hot glue out here pretty soon. Oh yes, there's these cute little clothespins in a couple different sizes that Canvas Corp Home Basics has. And I had a couple of those from some different sampler packs that they've sent me. I probably should have mentioned that I'm on the Canvas Corp Brands creative crew. That's their design team. So they do send a few little odds and ends. This rope, hemp rope, or canvas rope or whatever it is also from them. That was in one of my little sampler packs that they sent. Basically everything that I've used on this whole project is from Canvas Corp brands. Usually I just use one or two things, but this time I used everything from them. Except for glue. Glue is not from them. So I used my hot glue to glue that rope all the way around the edge of the canvas, and I thought it looked really cute. Then I'm gluing down my canvas tag and the piece of cardboard, corrugated cardboard down at the bottom to anchor my design. Then I'm putting on my mermaid tag, and I decide to clip it on the corner with the couple of the little blue painted clothespins. So I just hot glued it in one corner, and then in the other corner I clipped it, and then I glued the little clothespins down with my hot glue to keep them on there. And I thought that worked really well. Then I've got my little starfish, and I'm gluing that on. It's looking cute. Still needs something though. Not sure what. It's looking cute though. I decided to curl up the rest of that rope, that little tiny 1.5, 2-inch piece, and glue that down. And then I went and looked for some shells that I had, and I had a broken bracelet that had little shells, and then a couple shells from the beach that I picked up. So with the beach shells, they're kind of beat up looking, so I decided to color them by painting them with gesso and then spraying them with glimmer mist in different colors and layering it on. And this was an interesting, it came out interesting because the shells are ridged, and so the glimmer mist caught in the different ridges, and I would get different colors coming out. It was pretty cool, and it looks really cool in person. You can't see the shimmer that well on the video, but in person it's really, really cool. Then I just start gluing on the different shells, trying to, get it to where I like it. I mean, then I decide I'm going to add another one of those beach shells, so I do the same process with it. I paint it with gesso to give it a sealed place for things to stick to, and then put some different glimmer mists on there. This time I used the pink and the peach colors to make it a little bit lighter, because it's going to go there with that other one. And I add a few of the little beads that were in the bracelet. They kind of look like coral colors, and I thought they added an additional element to my design. This was pretty fun. I don't usually do assembly for mixed media. I usually have pretty flat mixed media projects, so I was having a good time. I just kept gluing things on. I thought I was done, and then I would glue more things on. You know how that goes. It's hard to stop. You don't know when to stop. I was going to put one there, decided I didn't like it, so I peeled it off. Then I decided I need that third found beach shell up there at the top in the corner, because it just seems like the two corners are too empty. So I do the same treatment again by putting gesso on it and then spraying it with glimmer mists. They get really hot. It's kind of burning my fingers there. So I hope you've enjoyed this project. Please go check out my other friends from the crew and what they've made for this By the Sea theme. And there's a little picture of what they've made, as well as links down below and in the iCards. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.